Blue. Blue. Dear twin, I just have no idea what to say to you sometimes. So today we're chilling on my couch. I'm too lazy to stand up really or find a good place to put my camera and make a makeshift tripod. So here we are on my couch behind this great backlighting, and haven't brushed my hair. So let's see how things go. So your story was interesting, as all of your stories are, and all of your life is really. And it reminded me of a couple times I've tried to learn something new, particularly when my dad tried to teach me how to ride a bike when I was like 5 or 6. And ultimately I ended up crashing into a bush and giving up, and I still don't know how to ride a bike. But I didn't think that was worth making a 5-minute video out of. Really, I couldn't think of anything that involved me learning a new skill that was worth making a 5-minute video out of. I'm sure there's something out there, but like I've been thinking for days and I can't come up with anything. So I've decided to focus on something a little bit different. So learning a new skill is an ongoing process. Whether it's learning ASL or learning to ride a bike or learning to blow up a balloon, something I'm still not that great at, by the way, it takes time to learn a skill. A lot of the time though, I think that when we try to learn a new skill, we end up learning more than one thing along the way. So what I want to talk about is a skill that I know I've been learning my entire life, and I'm sure a lot of people have. And that skill is how to be helpful. So a quick story you've already heard, but I'm going to provide it for context. The other day I was walking down the sidewalk and I saw this little red cardinal hopping up and down on the sidewalk like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I thought that was kind of strange. I was still like 10 feet away from it, but I saw this bird and I'm like, birds don't just stand on the sidewalk and jump up and down. Like, what's going on? And so as I approached the bird, I noticed that there was a little sparrow next to it lying on its back. And I stopped and I flipped the bird over with a little stick, and this whole time the red cardinal had flown over to a nearby tree and was watching me as I helped his friend. And eventually I called some bird people and they helped the sparrow because he had a broken wing and he should be okay now. But what really struck me about that moment was how much of a spectacle nature really is. This little bird, a bird, stopped to help another bird, not even its same species or anything, just stopped to help it out of the kindness or the goodness of its little bird heart. And the sparrow got help. Now, not to be conceited or anything, but like most of my life, I've considered myself primarily a helper. You know how there are people who like do things, and there are people who lead, and there are people who help, and there are all different kinds of people? Well, I don't want to categorize myself as one in particular because I feel like I'm many different qualities and so is everyone else in the world. But I feel like my primary category that I fit into is that of a helper. So throughout my life, I've been learning to help others, whether that means helping my sister with her homework or giving my friends advice or just showing up when someone needs me. I've been learning to help in the best way possible. And I feel like what I've learned most from that is that everyone requires different kinds of help in different situations. And it's not just the situation itself that determines what kind of help someone needs. It's that person specifically. Of course, directly talking to someone and asking what it is that you can do is always the best strategy. Some people need simple help, like babysitting their dog or helping them move boxes out of their apartment or listening to them when they complain. There are other people, though, who don't want that kind of help, who absolutely refuse to have you interfere with anything that may be potentially helpful to them because they need to get something done on their own. And that's all right, I've done that before. But it's also important to remember that even if people don't ask for help, that doesn't mean they don't need it. And simply being there for someone to hear them talk, to be there in their creative process while they're thinking, or to act as a voice of reason when their mind just gets way too chaotic, is still a way of helping someone. I think the easy way to remember all of this is that some people like hugs and some people don't. And you just need to take that into consideration when you're helping someone out. The funny thing about this is that by aiding all these people in my life, I've also learned a lot about myself and how to help myself, and most importantly, how to ask for help from others. This is by far the hardest aspect of it all for me, because I'm a person who likes to get stuff done on my own, and I'm too prideful sometimes to ask for someone to lend a hand. But I found throughout my life that as I've helped others, they've helped me to learn more about who I am and how to make myself a better person. And I really think that's just been fantastic. So much like the little red cardinal has proven to me, I believe that kindness and helpfulness are inherent in human nature and in all nature. And I think it's up to us to share that kindness with the people who need it most when they need it most. So I want to hear from you now. What is one really important skill that you've learned throughout your life? Or what is one skill that you think you've managed to pass on to someone else? That's an even better one, I think. Let me know. Now for this week's bi-weekly riddle. Why did the pop star send back her meat at the restaurant? 'Cause it was rah, 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 mama. Anyway, that's it for this week's video, twin. I look forward to what you have to say in your next video, and I love you very much. Bye!